Have you ever stepped into a truly kosher kitchen and noticed a striking organization, perhaps even distinct sets of cookware? It might make you wonder about the specific rules that guide such meticulous separation, especially when it comes to the cooking vessels themselves. This careful approach is a hallmark of kosher dietary laws designed to uphold specific principles. Yes, separate pots are indeed generally required for kosher cooking, primarily to keep meat and dairy foods completely separate. This fundamental rule, known as basar bichalev, meaning meat and milk, is a cornerstone of Kashrut, the Jewish dietary laws. Beyond meat and dairy, some observant households also maintain separate cookware for parava foods, which are neutral and can be eaten with either meat or dairy. But this is an added stringency, and not always a strict requirement for the pots themselves, if they are cleaned properly. The core reason behind needing separate pots stems from the principle that once a utensil or pot absorbs the flavor or essence of a certain food type through cooking, it retains that essence. Therefore, if you cook meat in a pot, that pot becomes a meat pot. If you then were to cook dairy in the same pot, even after washing, the absorbed meat essence could transfer to the dairy food, violating the prohibition of mixing meat and dairy. This absorption happens at high temperatures, which is why cooking utensils are impacted so significantly. It is not just about visible residue, but the unseen essence that permeates the cooking surface. To put this into practice, you will want to designate specific pots and pans exclusively for either meat or dairy dishes. Many people achieve this by using different colors or distinct labels on their cookware to easily differentiate them. For example, you might use red-handled pots for meat and blue-handled pots for dairy, or simply use permanent markers to label the undersides. This system helps prevent accidental mixing and ensures that each pot remains dedicated to its category, preserving the integrity of your kosher kitchen. Remember, this extends beyond just main cooking pots to include mixing bowls, baking pans, and even serving utensils. An interesting detail in Kashrut is the concept of bitul, meaning nullification, which refers to a situation where a small amount of a non-kosher substance or a forbidden mixture might be nullified by a much larger amount of a kosher substance. However, when it comes to kitchenware, the focus is on maintaining clear separation from the outset, rather than relying on nullification after a mistake. The proactive approach of having distinct sets of cookware is how observant Jews embody the spirit of the law, creating a clear boundary between meat and dairy preparations. This ensures that every meal prepared adheres to the principles of kashrut without compromise. Ultimately, maintaining separate sets of pots and pans for meat and dairy is a practical and essential step for anyone keeping a kosher kitchen. This practice supports the deeper principle of kashrut by preventing the forbidden mixing of these food categories, both in the food itself and within the cooking vessels. By consciously organizing your kitchen with designated cookware, you are not only following a core Jewish law but also creating a system that provides peace of mind and simplifies your daily cooking process, making your kosher lifestyle both manageable and meaningful.
If you love kosher living, like, subscribe, and join our table.